As a kid, all a nigga wanna have was a Burberry scarf and $3 in my pocket. Instead I got beat with a switch, but I don't give a fuck, but it's on my body. Scars all up on me, but I run around from everybody. Life lesson learned, I better learn from this bitch, nobody. She pushed me around, she didn't give no motherfucks about it. She broke my heart 3 times, but I ain't getting...
Now, the first topic that I want to address is Aaron Rodgers still good enough to get the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl? Now, a lot of people this offseason have been saying that Aaron Rodgers is not the same quarterback that he was when he was in his prime 4 or 5 years ago. And a lot of people feel like Aaron Rodgers is regressing as a quarterback, which I will agree with, and which Green Bay will agree with you in that department as well, because if Aaron Rodgers wasn't regressing, they never would have drafted Jordan Love. Because Jordan Love is brought in because they don't feel like Aaron Rodgers has that many years left. So, although Aaron Rodgers has kind of regressed as a quarterback, that still doesn't mean that he's not good. He's still a top 10 quarterback, no matter if you want to consider him an elite quarterback still, or if you don't consider him an elite quarterback, he's still a top 10 quarterback nonetheless. Now, a lot of people have this misconception, and I don't know where this misconception comes from. Like, I don't know if too many people are watching the sports shows that are on national television and things like that, but I feel like people get too hyped up over how good a quarterback that a team has. And a lot of people feel like just because a team has a great quarterback, that automatically means that they're going to win the Super Bowl. Like, people say, like, Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson always make their teams, playoff contenders and Super Bowl contenders, but that's not necessarily the truth. The reason why those quarterbacks are so good, guys like Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, you can't really count Deshaun Watson in this conversation. He's a little bit of an outlier. But when you look at all of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, what do they all have in common? Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, what they both have in common is that they have two of the best coaches in the NFL. Russell Wilson has Pete Carroll. Patrick Mahomes has Andy Reid. I can also keep going. Who's the head coach for Drew Brees? Sean Payton. Who is the head coach for Tom Brady? Bill Belichick when he was in New England. So, I mean, look, every elite quarterback that is considered elite most of the time has a good coach. Now, there are only a few outliers, which is Deshaun Watson because he has Bill O'Brien, which Bill O'Brien at this point is average at this point. And you have Matthew Stafford, who Matthew Stafford doesn't have a great coach as well. So Deshaun Watson and Matthew Stafford are the two outliers in this conversation. But other than that, the majority of the quarterbacks who we consider top 10 QBs have great head coaches. And when you look at Aaron Rodgers, although Aaron Rodgers isn't what he used to be, he is in the best position that he's ever been and all his years with the Green Bay Packers to have the opportunity of winning the Super Bowl. And you want to know why? It's because of Matt LaFleur. Now, a lot of people get mad because they say Green Bay still doesn't have enough weapons around Aaron Rodgers, and they got mad because Green Bay took Jordan Love. They drafted another halfback in A.J. Dillon out of Boston College, although they still have Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. But here's the reason why that works. It fits Matt LaFleur's system. You see, just because you think Green Bay needs more playmakers, Matt LaFleur has a different set in mind. Matt LaFleur is a run-first coach. So, therefore, it only makes sense for him to try to tailor the offense towards what he loves to do, which is running the football. Running the football in the run game was a large reason why Green Bay was able to make it to the NFC Championship last year. And it has been something that Aaron Rodgers hasn't really had all that much throughout his tenure in Green Bay until last season. Last season was probably the best run game that Aaron Rodgers ever had during his time being the starting quarterback for the Packers. So if you're Aaron Rodgers, you have a very great run game. So you don't really have to do that much in the passing game. All you got to do is throw the ball to Devontae Adams and hope that, you have a number 2 wide receiver on your roster that breaks out. A lot of people are saying Allen Lazard. It could be Economia St. Brown. We don't really know who it is. But, I mean, a lot of people are under the, speculation that you got to have a top-notch offense around you to win a Super Bowl, and that's not entirely true. You just got to have a great coach and a good offensive philosophy that works. And Matt LaFleur's offensive philosophy works because they went 13-3, although they were one of the worst 13-3 teams of all time because they had one of the worst point differentials for a 13-3 team. But nonetheless, they still went to the NFC Championship. And a large reason for that was not only because of Aaron Rodgers still being good enough, but also having a really good run game and a good defense. So although Aaron Rodgers isn't, at the pinnacle like he was a couple years back, this is probably the best chance that he's ever had of winning the Super Bowl than he's probably ever had in a very long time with the Green Bay Packers, with the, offensive mindset that they have set in place. And a lot of people, they get so wrapped up in the talent. Like, I can't name a team that has won a Super Bowl with a top 10 wide receiver. Now, I don't know if people consider Tyreek Hill a top 10 wide receiver or whatnot, but besides from the Kansas City Chiefs, name me another team from this past decade that had a top 10 group of wide receivers and won the Super Bowl. You can't really name me one. So, look, a lot of people are saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't have this, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that. Listen, Aaron Rodgers has enough pieces set with the Packers that he can take them to the Super Bowl. And although Aaron Rodgers isn't, what he used to be, you don't have to be an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It's been proven time in and time out. Look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos in 2015 when he was basically in the downfall of his career. Father Time basically caught up to Peyton Manning in 2015, and he wasn't great. That's probably the second worst year that he's ever had in his whole entire NFL career besides his rookie season. And he was still able to win the Super Bowl. So, what does that tell you? Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick got the 49ers to the Super Bowl once. Although they didn't win it, he still got them there. So, look, you don't have to have, the best quarterback in the NFL or a top 5 QB to win the Super Bowl. You just have to have a quarterback who's good enough to get the job done. And I think that is a misconception that a lot of people have. Like, it's all about coaching trumps everything. It's a reason why you can win a Super Bowl with an average quarterback, but you can't win a Super Bowl with a great quarterback and a bad coach. So, listen, I know Aaron Rodgers isn't the same guy that he used to be a couple of years back when he was winning MVPs and when he was probably the best quarterback in the NFL, but Aaron Rodgers is still good enough to win a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. Like, a lot of people under this mindset, like, just because you're regressing, that means you're not good enough to get your team to the Super Bowl, and that's simply not true because Aaron Rodgers has a great coaching staff set in place. And I know a lot of people say Green Bay doesn't have a lot of weapons. They don't really need a lot of weapons because all they have to do is play towards the strength of their offense, which is running the football. You can still make it as far as anybody in the NFL by smash mouth football. Like we saw the 49ers do it last year. We saw the Jacksonville Jaguars make it to the AFC Championship a few years ago running on smash mouth football. We saw Tennessee do it this past season. So smash mouth football and having a great run game can still win championships. You can still have success in the NFL being a run-heavy offense, and that's kind of what Green Bay is now with A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, and Jamal Williams. And then you only got to have like one wide receiver who needs to step up because you already got Devontae Adams. So, you just need a guy like Alan Lazard to step up or somebody else just to be your wide receiver number 2. So, look, Green Bay has enough weapons set in place for Aaron Rodgers to be successful. And although Aaron Rodgers isn't as good as what he used to be, he's still good enough to get the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl. So let's stop this nonsense saying that the Green Bay Packers aren't going to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Just because a guy's declining doesn't mean they can't win a Super Bowl, okay? You don't have to be an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. So let's just stop this whole entire narrative that Aaron Rodgers is not good enough to get the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl, because he still is, despite the fact that he has kind of regressed over the last season. Also, you guys got to remember that was his first year in Matt LaFleur's offense. So imagine what's going to happen in year 2 under Matt LaFleur when Aaron Rodgers starts playing under Matt LaFleur's system the way that's supposed to be played. Because last year he was basically still learning the system. Well, he wasn't learning the system, but he was kind of getting accustomed to it. Now going in year 2, he's going to know the system a lot better than what he knew in 2019. So that's also another added bonus. So look, I know a lot of people are so sold on, on the mindset that you got to have an elite quarterback or you got to have the best quarterback in the NFL to win a Super Bowl, but that's not true, because there's a reason why guys like Phillip Rivers have not won a Super Bowl yet. Okay, when Phillip Rivers was at his pinnacle, they didn't win a Super Bowl. So, look, it's all about coaching. Coaching matters more than having a great quarterback. So Aaron Rodgers, with the fact that Green Bay has Matt LaFleur as their head coach, I think he's in the best position that he's ever have been to win a Super Bowl over the last couple of seasons.